what you've got to do first of all is get used to where everything is. So I can see, here's my big ear lines here. 1, 2, nice. I can reach them, they're easy to get to, nice. I know where they are. The other one is a stabilizer line. In this case, it's on a C, and it goes just to the stabilizer line on the edge. Okay, just in case you have a cravat and you need to just tug it out, little stabilizer line will get that out. You know your brakes, you know where they go to. It's always important, don't ever let go of brakes like that because they twist around. So always make sure, if ever you're releasing the brakes, they go up smoothly to your keepers, okay, which is where you pop them in. And whenever you're doing anything, it's always good to put your hands through the loops so that you're flying like that, okay? Don't fly like that if you're doing anything, because suddenly if it snaps, woohoo, you lose a brake toggle and then it spins around and gets all problematic. So we've got our brakes in the hands, we're comfortable, we know where all the lines are, and we know where our reserve is. All is good, we're familiar with it. Then it's your body position. Am I in a harness that's suited for me? And am I sitting comfortably, not too supine? Because if you're too supine and you have problems, you yaw around the place all the time, and that causing twists in your risers. So you want to be sitting up nice. You want to have a sort of 42 to 46 centimeters between the melons, which is my elbow to my fingers. So you're comfortable with the distance, not too close, you twist, not too far apart, you fall into roll and can twist again and amplify collapse problems. So nice and comfortable, nice and balanced, all right? And keep your body and your legs crossed and under you. So you're in a nice, neutral, comfortable flying position. So now I've got that, I'm happy with all that. I've got my speed system, I know where that is, and I know how to use it. So first of all, you put your foot in the stirrup and you push the first stirrup, and then you come up for the main stirrup, which is the hard bar, and then you squeeze on that nice and progressively. And you can see obviously the picking up of speed very fast. All the loading is on the front, very little loading on the back, look. If you do want to feel the tension, or you want to get a clue of what's happening in your wing, just hold the back riser and that'll give you the clue in the wing. Just a little bit of tension. See my hands there? Just a bit of tension. Not much, but you don't pull on the brakes, okay? And then when you want to release them, you ease off. The more efficient the wing, the better it is on speed. And speed bars aren't bad now. The way gliders are made, the way the speed systems work, they're much better than they used to be. So you should sort of get used to using it. But if ever it's in lumpy air and you think, oh, should I use my speed system? You know, I'd rather have a little bit of brake on, then you've answered your question. Don't use a speed system. But you'll be amazed at how stable and strong a glider at speed is. So get used to it. Practice it at sites that are comfortable with you, in conditions that are comfortable, so that when you use them in a cross-country environment, you're comfortable with it. But another thing to remember is use the pitch. Okay, so if your glider, if it's pendulum upwards, your pitch is upwards, then you want to squeeze the bar on to get it down. And then if you're diving, you ease it off a bit to flatten it. The whole goal is to keep it flat, keep the glider flat, because the minute it starts doing that, you destroy your glide. A lot of pilots I teach, they have GPSs and things, and you ask them what's the speed, and they don't know because they haven't looked at the average. So you have to learn the speed. You can see that in the test reports, but you can also do it for yourself. Look at the GPS, do some turns 90 degrees, and you always work on an average. So the average is, let's say, 38 k's an hour. So that's my trim speed. So then I can slow it down and gently in smooth air, and you notice it's going quieter and quieter, and that's a sign, okay? And you can just gently keep it coming and find your minimum speed, okay? Just before it stalls, you don't want it to stall, so you just keep it coming down nice and quiet That's your minimum speed. And then you just gently ease off. And note that these little things give you a better understanding and sensitivity of the wing. Harness settings and race harnesses are discussed in more detail in Disc 2. It's great in smooth air. It's really nice to practice getting in close with cliffs because it gives you a bit of confidence. The more you do it, it goes into a different part of your brain, you're more experienced, and the more natural it feels, and the more comfortable you are with it. But do be careful, you know, when you're flying on slopes at home, imagine a slope, your body can be close to it, but when you're flying next to a cliff, it's not your body's not the first thing that is close to it, it's your wingtip. So always keep an eye on your wingtip. It was funny, earlier I flew out and we have no vario when we're doing these maneuvers because obviously we're going to do maneuvers over water and I don't want to disturb the sound. But when you fly over the mountains in sort of lumpy lift, you have no sound, and sound is a great gauge to see when turbulence is coming, or lift when the vario beeps. So you don't feel so nervous, and it's a positive thing. Beep, 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 beep. But when you have no sound, it's just lumpy and it gets you very nervous and on edge. There's nothing wrong with being nervous. It keeps you alive, keeps your senses heightened, and you know, in the long run, it increases your performance. It's the secret of knowing how to control it, turn it to a positive, and don't dwell on the negative. That's the secret.